Episode 33 is in the books. Yo, what is up, Crocs and Clan members, Poke fans? We are here with episode 33 review of Pokemon Horizons. And I'm going to be honest, okay? Half of this episode was completely unnecessary. I'm going to say that right now, okay? The first half should have actually been the whole episode. They should have had that extend itself to the whole episode. There's no reason for them to cut it off in the middle just to do this Diana battle at the end when they could have just saved that for the next episode. I don't know why we need a fucking party to say goodbye to Diana, okay? That's, you know, I was going to say, oh, that's spoilers, but if you're watching my review right now, you're like, well, this shit happened like months ago. What the fuck are you talking about? But listen, okay? I'm going to say that right now. The first half was goated. Like, it was amazing. I was blown away by the mastery that was going on, okay? That was beautiful. You had Rayquaza blew that fucking Cerulege away. I had to take a double take, okay? I got to the point where I even turned around and was like telling my wife, hey, look at this shit. It was wild, crazy. Like, bruh. Like, Amethyst stood no chance against this Rayquaza. And it makes sense, okay? Rayquaza's a fucking powerhouse. And Cerulege is like, well, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's not a bad mon. But, okay, it's nowhere near the potential to handle his business against a fucking Rayquaza. Especially anime Rayquaza, because that's just not fair, okay? We've seen this bitch go off against two fucking Deoxys, and, well, it's not the same Rayquaza, obviously, but anime logic, this thing is a fucking monster, okay? It didn't even use an attack, it just screamed and blew away Cerulege and Corviknight's attack like it was nothing. It wasn't even a move. It just screamed into the air, into the atmosphere, and it's like, rawr, and then everything just goes, whew. It was hilarious, okay? But, like, bro, he literally stood no chance. It was not even close, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, they could have extended this shit, okay? My only issue with this episode is the fact that they cut that short. They really, because it went from him blowing away this fucking Cerulege to smithereens to looking at the group and like, I see y'all, and then I'm gonna start blasting for no reason, and you can't do shit about it until Tropicos goes like Terra Shell form and like launches a Terra Starstorm or whatever the fuck the move is called, and then blocks all the fucking Draco Meteors, and then Rayquaza's like, bet, and then he leaves. Like, what? All of this could have been extended. There's no reason for him to cut it that short. Okay? On top of the fact that you had two other competent trainers here. Like, you could have had a somewhat of a team-up with Amethyst and Freed and Diana in some way, shape, or form. Because, like, literally the only ones doing business were Freed Charizard and Diana Arcanine. That's lit. They were the only ones that were actually doing something competent here after Amethyst got blown away. Because Roy and Liko weren't going to do shit. Everybody else on this goddamn ship sucks ass. They can't do shit. Like, so you could have done something with it. I don't know why they needed to rush the Tropicos transformation at all. Like, there was literally no reason for that. Like, I get that they're trying to push the story forward in terms of like, oh, Tropicos is getting stronger because of the heroes that they're collecting and shit like that, and it's getting back its memories and I get that, okay? I understand that we at some point we're gonna see this, and I'm not saying I'm mad that they showed the transformation in this episode. I'm just talking about the fact that it happened before the halfway point of the episode when you could have just extended that. There's no reason for Rayquaza to just start blasting, okay? They could have had some dialogue like, oh, hey, look at all this shit. And then, like, Liko could have somehow shown, hey, I got the fucking heroes. And something. They could have done something. That's all I'm saying. Because while the battle with Diana is, like, not the worst thing in the world, okay? We've definitely seen worse episodes in this series. It just felt tacked on because they're like, oh, we did all this in the first half. We need to tack something on there for the rest of the episode when they could have just had that relegated to next week's episode. Well, I can't say next week anymore because the episode, all this happened like weeks and months ago. So the next episode, they could have just had that. The whole party, you could have just centered it around like, hey, I want to test you guys. Like, let's do some battle testing because I don't mind the idea behind the reason why Diana did this, okay? I know she's leaving. We get that squared away. It's fine. And I like the message that she's putting behind them because, like, both Liko and Roy are devastated because, like, shit, they couldn't do shit, which makes sense because these two are still newbies. They haven't really done anything to progress forward as trainers, and it's not like they have the most practice. Like, at most, we see them train with Cap every once in a while, but at the end of the day, it's always free doing everything for them, right? So I like the message that she's trying to convey. Is like, hey, you might not see it yet, but if we work together, right, and you analyze everything and you look at what potential flaws of your opponent, like, you can still do some damage. You can still win, you know? It's all a matter of always keeping your cool, always remembering there's a way out. And I like the message that Diana was giving, but I just think they could have held off for another week, you know, into the next episode for that whole dialogue and just extend the Rayquaza stuff. Because it just felt like they had this one cool idea of what they wanted to do to show off Rayquaza and just how powerful it is, you know, because the last time we saw it, they didn't get to do much, right? Nobody ever was able to do anything. And we finally see it again, and it's just like a quick glimpse. Like, they could have extended that. And I think that was their main goal, and they just shortened it so much and said, like, fuck, we need to add something to fill the rest of the gap. And then just tacked on the Diana stuff at the end. So the episode, for me, just feels off because they don't go together, right? It's not like one thing that's going on in this episode to tie it together. It just feels like you have, this is one episode and this is another, and they just put them together for no reason. Like I said, I like what happened in the first half, and I understand the themes they were going for in the second half, but I don't know how you really tie that into the first one, except for the fact that Liko and Roy got so bodied that Diana was trying to teach him a lesson. But that could have just been done in a separate episode. That's what I'm trying to convey. I don't know if I'm repeating myself too much, or maybe it's not coming off as clear, but that's what I'm trying to convey. I'm not saying I dislike the second half. I'm just saying it felt tacked on and could have waited for the next episode to have occurred and just extend the Rayquaza stuff a little longer. Because Ameto didn't really get to do much. Like, he literally just attacked twice and then got blown away. I'm still surprised Sarah is alive, okay? This man got blown into a tiny island where Rayquaza blasted it with like 5 Dragon Pulses, and like that island should have been obliterated, right? Sarah should be at the bottom of the ocean. That's how I feel. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, the episode wasn't bad, okay? I just feel like there was no cohesion here, and I don't think they planned this out properly. And I'm not really looking forward to the next episode because I said they're making it into a party, and you could have just had the battle in the party. So now it's just going to feel like a wasted filler episode of like, goodbye Diana, and we're going to just have a runtime of, hey, look, let's do a party. It's literally going to feel like the fucking picnic shit. Like the fucking sandwiches and the curry shit, like the Galar stuff. Like, it's just going to feel like that again. And I don't know why they have this constant need to just do like a food episode. Like, hey, we're just gonna do food stuff. Like, it just, I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave it off there because I feel like I'm gonna go into a tangent if I continue. Like I said, the episode's not bad. I was expecting more from what I saw what was supposed to happen in this episode, and I felt just a disconnect. So we're gonna leave it off there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been your host, SoresanCrockxen, and I will see you guys in future videos, streams, shorts, and everything in between.